Hi, my name is Mike. Today we're going to be looking at this hornbeam here to describe some of the techniques that will be used to refine this tree now. It's been grown as a bonsai for about 15 years. Started off as a small seedling, no thicker than a pencil. Then spent about 3 years in the ground on top of a slate tile. Now that's allowed it to develop a really good root system at the bottom. As you can see, there's some big flare, there's some big roots that anchor the tree into the pot visually. But now we need to sort of look at the definition of the tree as it stands. At the moment it's very much a pine-like image. As you can see, the branches come straight out from the trunk, and it's got a very triangular shape, which is not a natural shape for a deciduous tree really. So what I'm looking at is to look at the pruning and pinching now to develop the ramification of the tree and also to give it a more rounded shape without allowing too much extension at the top, because I think the final height of the tree is in good proportion to the trunk. So as you can see, the way the tree was developed, growing in the ground for some time helped it to give that big bulk to the trunk. Now the way that was achieved is by letting it grow wild and then cutting back quite severely. That tree at some stage was 6 foot tall, with a single leader coming out of this section here that you can see in the centre of the tree. Now you can still clearly see where those big branches were chopped off during the development stages, and I'm not too worried about these pruning marks because I might actually incorporate them as features in the finished tree. So let's talk about the way we're going to refine this tree. What we need to consider here is the way these trees grow. Now, all trees are basically apically dominant. That means that the top shoots in the tree and also the side shoots of the branches, the outer shoots, grow more strongly than the foliage that's on the inside and the shoots. That is because the growing tips, which you can see here, the little growing tips on the top and the front of branches, diffuse a hormone down into the tree that inhibits the growth of the side branches. Now basically that is to stop competition of those side branches with the main shoot, and allows the tree to grow as tall as possible, as quickly as possible. How do we go about then to get this tree to ramify a bit more? Now with ramification means a development of lots of small branches coming from the secondary branches that you can see here. Now in the final image those branches will be trained more upright than they are now, so they're becoming up into a flame shape, something in that region, and to accomplish that I need lots of small branches to become from there. As I've explained just now, is that these growing tips here diffuse an auxin, a hormone, down into the branch, which stops developing the little buds that you can see on the sides of the branches here. So to get rid of that and to allow those to grow, what we need to do is simply take a sharp pair of scissors and take the growing tips out where we require more branches to grow in the centre. So this is a matter for springtime. As you can see, it's growing pretty strongly. The tree hasn't been repotted this year. It was repotted last year into a very free draining mix. I've inspected the roots in the spring and they're healthy. So I'm now going about sort of really removing these shoots where I want the branches to grow on the inside. Now I use a pair of sharp scissors here, but you could just as easily just pinch them out with your fingers, because the growth is very soft at the moment, and it's easily taken off with your fingers. Now one thing to consider here is that wherever you take one of these growing tips out, a shoot will form in the leaf axis at the bottom of the last leaf, which means a new branch or shoot will grow into the direction of the leaf, which will further refine the image. So now I'm going to slowly work my way around this tree. Where I still need branch extension, for example on this little branch here, I will leave the bud to extend that branch further. Where I definitely don't need any more extension, I will take the growing tips out and make sure that I've got them pruned to the correct leaf to give the direction of the new shoot at the front of the tree. So I've brought the camera a bit closer here just so you can probably see more clearly what I'm doing here. So this is one of the growing tips that I'm going to remove. Now there's obviously, you can see the shoot. This is where the extension growth is happening. There's another one here and there's some more here, as you can see. Now taking these shoots out is pretty simple. You just snip them off with your scissors. And as you can see, I've deliberately cut these where I've got a leaf that points in the direction where I want the next shoot to grow. So for example, this leaf here is pointing this way, so the shoot that's coming from the bottom of this leaf will grow into this direction. This one here, obviously I don't want a branch to grow back into the tree, so I will take that down to here, which gives me the leaf direction and the shoot direction that then will go into this sort of direction. As I said, I've sort of worked my way around this tree now, taking off these growth extensions where I don't want them, and looking at the general overall shape of the tree. And this sort of more or less will give you an idea of what this shoot extension pruning is all about. As I said, this is a technique that's used in the final stages of the bonsai development. Just to finalise this, as you can see, the extension growth has now been taken back to where I want those branches to grow, and where I want to remove branches. Now, just to dispel a little bit of a myth here, this isn't being cruel to the tree. It allows the tree to fill out, it gives me ramification, and is a technique that's been used by farmers and fruit growers for hundreds of years to encourage the vigour of the tree and to maintain the tree in good shape and health. Hopefully it's given you some idea of how these trees are shaped, and thank you for watching.